Hello and welcome to another Q&A with me, your host, Majora. Malt the Master asked that I keep these on during the live stream, and I'll try to be as non-squeaky as possible. Hopefully I won't have to be sitting in the squeaky chair too much longer. I would like to be working at the desk, but that's not where I'm at right now. If you like the Q&A content, you want to get to know more about me, you want to stay tuned for some great spaceship shooter reviews and more collaborative content in the works, well, you've come to the right place. It's me, Majora. Subscribe to my channel. Looking forward to hearing from you. Anyways, we got a lot of questions you can ask me over in the Discord. Your sworn brothers. Still haven't changed the name, but I'm working on it. And this is for the month of August. This is a big one. We got a lot of questions here, and I'm looking forward to it. First one comes from PXN Gaming. Is the Nintendo Switch your favorite console ever? I kind of wish I didn't see this before I started streaming. I probably would have laughed. No, it's not. It's probably like down low on the list. I have so many problems with the Switch. It's not my favorite by any means. Oh, why did I take these off? There we go. Favorite console? I used to say it was 3DS. I'm reconsidering though. I do like my PS4 quite a bit, honestly. And then I do like my Xbox Series S. I like my N64. And I like my backlit GBA, although I wish the select button worked. And then I like my 3DS. I think all four of those consoles I like more than the Switch. So Switch is down bottom 5 to 10 somewhere. There are things I like about the Switch. There are things I really don't like about the Switch, if you couldn't tell. Same question for the Switch Pro controller. No way, man. I prefer the Xbox controller. I think it is smoother. It feels nice when you hold it. Battery life is good. This works on PC pretty seamlessly. Button inputs are good. The D-pad's decent, and thumbsticks are good. It's really convenient. Plus, it's moderately priced. The Switch Pro controller is way overpriced. I have like those like cheaper ones, so that's kind of I don't know, a nuisance. Thanks, PXN. Top 5 favorite novels. BioPhoenix. Great question. You know I've been reading lately. So when it comes to novels, there are only 2 authors I've read that really impress me, that I think are like S tier. There are other authors I think are more of like the A or B tier, and then you can tell when an author's like really not a great writer or that's not their primary thing. Tends to put them in the C or D tier for me. So I've got like a couple books that I think are S tier, most of which are either like A or B, but I'm going to start with the ones I think are really like just out of this world. Love them. My favorite authors are Isaac Asimov and Ursula Le Guin. Isaac Asimov's Foundation series is one of my favorite series and sci-fi books of all time. It's kind of this intergalactic civilization spread across time, and you see the effects of one generation's philosophy way in the future. You see it 3 books forward. And the plot twists are incredible. It's been years, maybe 5 years since I've read it, so I don't remember everything, but I remember loving it when I read it. I read like halfway through the 5th book, and things got in the way, so I didn't get to finish. But I'd love to reread up to that point, maybe finish all 7 in the series, and kind of give a holistic overview. Those are S tier to me. The first book does come under scrutiny a lot because there was a very small female presence in the first book. He changed that by the second book, but I think go men, first off. And then second, it's you know what? I think I can overlook that because I'm a man, maybe, but because it's a good book, and like I still think that like the text is challenging my mind in an interesting way. And also I have to like, you know, this guy's like was like a sci-fi nerd writing magazine entries, you know, writing short stories for the magazines. At the time this book came out, I think it was like originally magazine articles. And so like I'm gonna be gracious in a sense. You know, if you're a guy, you write about what you know. You know about guys. Like, and so, like, I mean, whatever. I don't. So it doesn't matter too much to me that. But needless to say, the future books really improve from there. A second book I would recommend from Asimov is actually nonfiction. And nonfiction is a little different for me because I don't know how often I would reread a nonfiction text. Oftentimes, I think I've learned the principles from them. But this one I would reread. It's called Asimov's Galaxy, and it's a publication of nonfiction essays that are basically guidance on creative writing, short story writing, especially for the magazines and the science fiction genre in general. A lot of interesting principles. I don't remember too many of them offhand, but I do remember him saying that like the best sci-fi stories are based off of real science. And I think that the text it offers good value and insight into creative writing and science fiction from a pro. This guy's written like 400 books, so and they're good. I read I read another author I didn't like, Piers Anthony. He's written a ton of like fantasy books, and I read one and I was just like, no, I'm not doing this again. So it's a testament to how good he is. Cheers, Asimov. Your legacy lives strong. With Ursula Le Guin, I started off on her work through The Left Hand of Darkness for a sci-fi undergrad class in college. It was a great book at the time. I've tried to reread it. I've had trouble. But one of the books I really loved by her is called City of Illusions. And I just don't remember it exactly, like to a T. But I do remember it just being a mind-bending experience. Lathe of Heaven was similar. It had a lot to do with dreams. But I remember City of Illusions having this kind of great commentary about this guy, and like he's kind of like figuring out like some kind of mystery that he's involved in. She adopts that kind of like suspense and plot twist element that I love from Asimov super well. She passed away pretty recently, but she's got a great legacy, and I really like her work. For those who really like Lord of the Rings, they probably like her Earthsea series. I really need to commit to that, but it might be past my time. But City of Illusions, actually, my local library, I saw it again recently on the shelves, but to buy this book online, the last I checked, it was like $200. That's nuts. Do not pay $200 to read this book. I will take it out of the library again, and I will record an audiobook. That's what I have to do just to get this book out there so you can access it freely. But just a top writer for me. The other two, because I've said three so far, books that are in my top 5 favorite books are nonfiction. And they're not ones I would reread, but they're ones that I think offer a lot of value to your life. The first is Digital Minimalism. I read this at a time where I was really struggling with smartphone addiction and internet addiction and screen addiction. And the book challenged me to put these things down. Now, you probably won't like a lot of the takes in this book. If you're like vested into things like social media or electronics in general, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to accept what the author's telling you. He basically says social media is a waste of time, and that anybody who says why they say they have Facebook is saying they have it to keep in touch with people, when 90% of the time you're on Facebook, you're not actually keeping in touch with people. You're just sitting there scrolling through news feeds and liking random shit. So that opinion is abrasive, and a lot of people probably wouldn't like that. I love that. I was like, all right, let's delete Facebook, the second I saw that. But I took a lot of value from it because that came during the pandemic era when I read this, and it challenged me to become more aware of my technical consumption habits. I think I was in a space where I was like, I knew I needed to put it down. I knew I needed to stop it for a sec. And I'll be honest, I don't think I followed the things in this book to a T, but I did do things like not looking at my comment section. I deactivated my social media, some of which I never reactivated. I went out for walks more. I didn't put my headphones in when I was going for walks. And it's changed my mind a lot on just my relationship with technology. Now, I still slip into habits. I still refresh subscription feeds and stuff a lot, like on YouTube. YouTube is still my number one guilty pleasure. But I think the book is good to read if you feel like you haven't challenged yourself in that way. So Digital Minimalism was very helpful for me. Another book that was really helpful for me is called 10% Happier by Dan Harris. There's a subtitle to it. I don't remember, but essentially the claim is that, you know, we look for these shortcuts and like how to be super happy or like live a meaningful life. And his arguments, you can't exactly do that 100%, but if you take the right steps, you can be 10% happier. And a little background on the guy, he was like a news reporter, and like it's one of those environments that's like I think he described it as toxic, you know, where he's, you know, always going up against people and like trying to fight for the biggest story or the headlines and stuff. And so it's draining on him. It was draining in his relationships. He's always thinking about this stuff. He was in Afghanistan. He was suffering PTSD, and then he had like a trauma attack on national television or local television, and it just changed him. And he went on like retreats, meditation retreats, and learned kind of past the hokey stuff of like meditation and yoga culture into like what can you actually do to, you know, get some of these negative thoughts out of your mind. And as somebody who definitely has negative thoughts a lot, I took a lot from that book. You know, he goes more into detail about it in the book, but essentially, if you remind yourself that these are just thoughts and these are not you, then you will be on the path to dealing with your negativity better. And if you just apply simple strategies, like when you start having or going into these spirals of negativity, just say the word breathe. You breathe in, you breathe out. He challenges you to do 5 minutes of meditation a day, and you know, it's where you do exactly that. You don't got to do the hokey, like sit in the pose. You just get however comfortable you are. Just be aware of your body posture. Breathing in, breathing out, erasing negativity. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself if you start going off. And yeah, I don't know. That was so helpful for me because I felt like I needed that kind of toolbox. And I really like that book. So there you have it. 5 novels / nonfiction that are majority certified, recommended. I loved them. And yeah, I think you will too, if these sound appealing to you. So take your pick. BioPhoenix, thanks for the question. All right, BioPhoenix, what's my favorite fish to eat? So I did stop eating fish, but there are certain fish groups that I eat, including eel and crab. I've debated doing lobster. I think I did a lobster roll the other day. But of the ones I'm currently eating, I think crab is up there. I know a lot of it's imitation, but I just feel better eating crab, even with the imitation stuff. I don't know. The fishing industry is kind of whack. So there you go. Mr. Grandpapo, a.k.a. Alex of Turbo Zone. Turbo, have you ever played a game and not enjoyed it all the time, but after trying it again later, you really enjoyed it? Oh, boy. Let me think about this. Okay, I did a Spaceship Shooter review that's going to upload in 3 Tuesdays, I want to say. And I think the first time I played that, I wasn't much of a fan. But I don't want to... I could tell you what it is. I don't want to, unless you want to know, and then I'll tell you. But it's hard for me to just pick that off the top of my brain. There's another one I talked about recently, but that's a secret. That's not supposed to come out even on my channel. I can't answer this. I'm sorry. I want to have a good answer for you, but everything I answer is spoilers. Okay, The Witcher 3. I didn't enjoy The Witcher 3 when I played it on PS4, but then I enjoyed it when I played it on Switch. As much as I lambast the Switch, it's pretty accessible, you know? I don't think it's the greatest console, but if you're doing if you need that incentive of being able to play it wherever in the house and not having to set up like your whole TV and everything, that's kind of nice. Create a dish based on one of the first 151 Pokemon. How is it made and what do you call it? Oh boy, it's got to be 151. I want a challenge. I don't want to just do like a Bellsprout salad. A dish based on one of the first 151 Pokemon. You know what? I'm going to look at the chat for this. What Pokemon does the chat recommend for dishes? What do you want? What do you want, Tara? Do you want Articuno? Oddish. Oh, no. It is pretty odd. It is an odd dish. Okay, Oddish is I love fried tentacruel. That's nice. Tentacruel Amari. Um, dude, that would be a sick nickname for Tentacruel, Cruel Amari. If I had to make an oddish dish, damn it, Terry, you win. You just win it. It's an odd dish. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna give that one to Terry. Terry wins. Speaking of Terry, created. Where am I? I did that. Is okay. Fuck Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. That's Terry 309. Is Metapod not a grass type Pokemon? Because you capitalized grass, we made it official. So the answer is no. But if you were asking if it lives in the grass, then yes. Alex says that Pikachu is a rock type Pokemon, and anyone who disagrees with him gets pummeled to dust. This sounds similar to the starter Pokemon argument. Do you agree? Listen, I will grant that Pikachu is a Pokemon. That is where I will agree. Pummeling to dust would be a kind of big ask. You know, that, I mean, like, how much pummeling, what tools do you have for the pummeling? Can you pummel to dust? What would it take? Like a forklift or something? Or like, I don't know. Just beep, 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 beep. I just keep doing that over and over for a whole day. No, bulldozer. You probably need a bulldozer to do the pummeling. But even then, I don't think it, like, would you really flatten a person? Let's not find out. I disagree. Fuck Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. What is your favorite game that you had to sell / let it go? What game did I have to let go that I really liked? I really liked the Ultimate Shooting Collection on Nintendo Wii. It was a collection of 3 spaceship shooters, Chaos Field, Carouse, and Rattergy. I owned Chaos Field again on the GameCube, but, you know, now that I'm going back into my spaceship shooter runs, I kind of wish I had held on to it. It's not terribly expensive right now, but, you know, I mean, you want to buy games, you want to play games, you want to get new games. You don't exactly want to play the same stuff over and over again. So I've been hesitant about going back to it. If the Mushroom Kingdom was real, would you personally meet up with Rob Van Dam and celebrate with magic mushrooms? No, substance free, except for coffee. That's the only one. But I'm working on my coffee thing. I'm trying to cut back like 1 cup a day. And maybe less. Maybe not at all. Some days no coffee. I'm kind of reveling in like just being myself, you know? Not right now because I'm drinking coffee, but yeah, we're getting there, Terry. Is Waluigi real? Is that his name? Waluigi real? It's a good name for a Waluigi. In which case, the question is not over. Is Waluigi real what? Happy? Sad? Going to work today? The answer, yes. Can you think of a single sequel that has been even worse than its original entry? A single sequel. Sequel. Is that the UK spelling? Does it have to be the second sequel? Like the second, not second sequel, but the second entry? Don't people not like... Okay, so I guess Dragon Quest II is worse than Dragon Quest I. So yeah. What's my favorite PS1 game? Oof. I need to explore that library more. Maybe Crash Bandicoot 3? But I need to play it on original hardware again. And then I'm nostalgic about Spyro, but I never really like dug into it. And I like Pac-Man World. And Chrono Cross was fine. I did list it as a top 10 game for me, but I take that back, kind of. I don't know how I feel about PS1. Is PS1 overrated? No, I just don't think I've explored the library enough. I still want to play Xenogears. That's on my to-do list, but it's always been $100, man. Maybe I'll just hook my PS3 up again and download it. Do I think the PS2 is better than the PS1? I mean, objectively, yes. Are we talking libraries, though? Is the PS2 library better than the PS1 library? I think so. I think you have more diversity. I think the games look a little better. They're more developed, complex. I like the SMT games on PS2. So, yeah, I would say so. Do I think the SNES is better than the PS1? That's close. That's real close. I don't have a good answer for you there. I'd say they're about equal. Do I think the N64 is better than the Sega Saturn? The Sega Saturn. The Sega Satan? Is that what that's supposed to be? Satan. So like the knockoff tofu by Sega? Yes. If the Sega Master System allowed you to transform into Chris Masters, would it actually be worth owning? Who's Chris Masters? Enlighten me. Maybe I'll get back to you in the chat. Will Spencer win the Royal Rumble? I would like to say so. The one with Malta Master, though, that's going to be tricky. Malta's been putting up a good fight lately. When is it? I need deets. I need to see the press conference. Who will Malta Master lose the undisputed title to, if anyone? Who will he lose the title to? If anyone, then Alex, probably. If Donkey came to deliver your mail, damn it, your mail every day, would you pet him or tell him to get out of your swamp? Probably the latter. Is Bill a Pokemon? It depends on the time period, the timeline. The Bill timeline has Bill being a Pokemon, yes. What is the worst F-Zero character? Worst how? Worst racer? Worst design? My worst racer is usually Black Shadow or Michael Chain. But I like them artistically. And then I think that, gosh, it's been a minute. I need to hook F-Zero back up. As far as like my least favorite design for an F-Zero character is probably Super Arrow. I think he's just too much of like a Captain America knockoff. I guess that's what you could like about him, but not for me. What is the best F-Zero character except Captain Falcon? Of course. Okay, best racer is between like Jody Summers and Drac. And then best from an artistic standpoint, I like Bio Rex and Beastman and Mighty Gazelle. Yeah. Has a game ever changed my mind and made me appreciate a genre more? If so, which game? There's so many to pick from. I mean, lately I've been on the spaceship shooter kick, and I think what did it for me was probably Nano Assault Neo X. I like a good twin stick shooter. And then it just kind of opened my mind to playing more of them because I did the review kind of randomly. And then I was like, next thing I knew, I was like, okay, well, why don't I just start a spaceship shooter review series? And I was like, okay, let's do it. So, yeah, maybe Nano Assault Neo X. Will Goku defeat the Evil Boo? Evil Boo. Is it Baby Boo? Yes. Is Lapras not a Pokemon? Lapras. I would say Lapras is a Pokemon. Is Bill hiding in his house? I don't think he comes out. Bill stays in a lot. He's a homebody. Does Bill actually have a house to hide in? That's a good question. Is it Bill's house? Damn it, Terry. Bill. Has Bill ever made me pancakes? Not yet. I would like that, though. If he did that, I would call him Billiam. It's a very proper name for a pancake friend. If not, then why do you consider Bill a friend? Bill I look at as like a guardian. I don't look at him as a friend. I look at him as a guardian. What is the worst Donkey Kong 64 character? Claptrap? Has Donkey Kong Country converted me to the ways of nobody? No. Is the Pokemon League a lie? That's a great question. Is Pokemon really a metaphor where you're just combating your demons and those demons might not even apply to you? Where Misty is really your final gym leader boss? No, I'm joking. Yeah. Does Squirtle evolve into Bulbasaur in the ROM hack? Don't tell the ROM police. Have you ever wiped your nose and blood came out? Probably. Is Spencer ever going to win the undisputed title back? Maybe. Will the Button Mappers retain the YouTube title? Yes. Which of Alex's podcasts do I prefer? I'm not going to answer that. They're both great. Who came up with the name the Button Mappers? We did. Me and Alex. What happened that caused you to enlist Spencer on the Mappers? You know, we're actually addressing a lot of this stuff, I feel like, on the community discourse on the Button Mappers that's coming out next week, where the Question Master, the future Question Master, will be announced. So stay tuned for that. That's Monday, folks. Would I hire Spencer to do editing if you were a big YouTube content creator? Yes. He's got great thumbnails. Is Geodude not a rock type? He is the rock type, okay? If Geodude was real, would you have a phobia of rocks? No, I'd have a good impression of them. What is the longest game you have ever had to install? Probably something from Game Pass, Gears of War. If you were a billionaire, what would be the first gaming-related thing that you buy? Billionaire? What would I want to buy? Taito. Maybe, but in Games is doing really good with Taito stuff, so maybe not. If Pokemon was adult only, what would you think about it? Oh, you know what game made me reconsider genre? I think G. Darius and Darius Gaiden were really good for me for the spaceship shooter genre. So anyways, if Pokemon was adult only, what would you think about it? Too cool for school. Who was the Pope of Pokemon? I am. Does Devil May Cry 1 suck? Ask Alex. What game series started with a terrible game but followed up with good games? Terrible? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't have a good answer for that. If you had to play a game in a simple 2000 series on PS2, which one would you pick? Why do you guys always ask me about simple series? I don't know any of them. Give me like 5 to pick from. What simple series character needs to be in Smash? Tell me. You tell me, Terry. Did I sell Valkyrie Profile 2? Yes. What are my thoughts on Big Daddy Kane? He's all right. I prefer Cool G Rap. The 80s rappers were really good, I guess. Music died in 1992, which was the year after Nirvana blew up. Why did so many people want to ruin music and succeed in doing so? In the 90s? I don't agree with that. No. 90s hip-hop is legit. And then 2000s hip-hop was legit. My favorite era of hip-hop is actually the current one. Crazy enough. Because of the indie scene. I think that you got some of the best hip-hop coming out now. Have I seen Stranger Things? Nope. Do I see myself playing an NBA 2K game? Nope. Have I played Def Jam Fight for New York? That overrated ass game. Oh, there's ass in it? Maybe I should check it out. Nope. Have I played Ed, Edd, and Eddy, The Misadventures? Nope. What will be the plot of the Button Mappers movie hitting theaters in 2047? What is it, 2022? 28-year anniversary of the Button Mappers. Let's Have Kids edition. A documentary about raising kids in a video game household with a podcast setting. We all bring our babies on air after they come home from high school. That's pretty good. A movie about having a podcast with your kids. What was a game you regret buying full price? I say a game I regret paying a price for was Warsong. I think I paid too much for that. But I sold it back. I got some money back, so it didn't matter. Full price, though? Most Nintendo titles? On Switch? Yeah, I don't know. Do I prefer Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo? I don't actually know this answer, surprisingly. I love Genesis and Spencer's all for SNES, so which side am I choosing? You know, that's tough because I think, like, I would like to like the Genesis more, especially for spaceship shooters. I just think that a lot of the games are really tough on the Genesis, and I think that the SNES is more approachable and has more iconic games. Sadly, I don't know. I think I would have to edge towards Super Nintendo if I'm being objective, but if I'm being nostalgic, it's Genesis. For now, I want to play the middle, but I think I will have a decision when I review more spaceship shooter games. So just pin that one. Take a pin. And I want to stick it there. I stuck a pin in the question. Will the mappers finally finish the Kano side of the Gen 2 map out to encourage I Got Kings to finish it too? Did he not? Oh, Brian. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I'd think about it. But as a whole, as the mappers, probably not. Have I ever considered playing and reviewing all games for a certain console? I did mention that I wanted to do Project 64, just N64 reviews all day, every day. But I think it's a bit ambitious. Which console would you choose through emulation if necessary? Oh, it's definitely necessary. I would consider getting one of those flashcards probably. But I think N64 is the most doable and right for me, although maybe not. But the problem with like Genesis and SNES era is there's a lot of crap to sift through too. Saturn is impossible. Like, forget that. I don't think any Sony consoles, definitely not modern. There's no modern console because there's just too much confusion with like limited games crap, digital titles that will not be available, and maybe that got pulled from the market. And then like, there's way too many physical games. A lot of them are not exclusive. So like, what's the point? I don't know. So nothing modern really. Something that's like 5th, 6th gen maybe. That's what I would do. I think series reviews are more tenable for me. Can I go review the contents of the fridge live on camera? No, I don't want to. My apartment's kind of messy. I will say that I have this, so I'm good. Do I have leftover Mexican in my fridge like Alex? No, I do not. Maybe I should, though. That would be nice. Maybe I'll get Mexican food tonight. You know what, though? I think there's a Colombian spot that I really like. Yep. Not yet. I wasn't asking you, Alex. I know you still have leftover Mexican food in your fridge. I know your fridge. You showed it in that video. Yeah, from 2020. I'll eat it eventually. You're as bad as my dad. Then again, since you call yourself my dad, I can't say I'm all that surprised. Exactly, son. It's a proud father tear. You're younger than me, though, so it's impossible for you to be my dad. Not in Hyrule Historia, it's not. Not gonna lie, though, PXN Gaming does look like my dad, a little. Who's your daddy? This is for Teddy. My dad is my dad. How old am I? Is that for me? I'm not 1,000 years old. I believe you mentioned you were around 27, 28. I forget. One of those. Oh, I was close. I was half off. I'm 2,000 years old. Been walking the earth, preaching the word of EDF and Sonic rings. It's in your contract. EDF didn't exist 2,000 years ago. You were there? Yes. We got a conflict. Fuck. I was called Big Yeti back then. It's a microphone. In the year 22, I used to smash a lot. I didn't know you liked Super Smash Bros. Then you should know. EDF is the only religion. Wow, that's where the giant Lord and Savior giant ant was birthed in the year 22. They didn't defend Earth from that meteor that crash landed into the planet, which I had to use time travel to avoid. Sorry, Teddy, I'll stop posting stupid shit on your Q&A now. It's cool. I enjoyed this. Is Alex insane or is he actually a real life alien life form? I probably err towards the latter. Does Spencer know how to boogie yet? Yes. Is Multimaster the coolest person ever? Yes. Is Saturn a planet? Yes. Did you sit on my Saturn? No. If Arby's shut down tomorrow, how would you revolt against the anti-Arby's oppressors? I wouldn't. Is Shrek actually Donkey's mom? M-O-M. Is that like upside down World of Warcraft? Yes. Is the answer to every question Arby's? I wish, but it's not. Do I want Arby's? No. When? Never. What time? Not now. Do you eat Arby's at 3 a.m. in my sleep? No, I don't. What's an Arby's? A roast beef? The police are coming to arrest Alex for not playing Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. And the ROM police arrest BioPhoenix for emulation. No, we got to post bail for him. You are Princess Peach. How are you going to get them out of jail? Post bail for them with turnips. Boston Burf blew up your house with an RPG. Meanwhile, Alex attacked Boston Burf in retaliation, but Boston Burf hit him with the guitar, knocking Alex out cold. You're in the woods. There's a Pokemon and a Pokeball right next to it. 3 moves: Ice Beam, Thundershock, Tail Whip. Which move do you choose to weaken Boston Burf so you can catch him in the Pokeball and add him in your Pokédex? Well, he does play guitar, so I know Thundershock will be super effective. But it's not the most powerful electric move, so I think he'll survive, but still take some good damage. So I'm thinking that Thundershock, maybe 2 Thundershocks would suffice, and then the Pokeballs would have a good shot. Have I watched Arby and the Chief? No. Should I? Is it as good as regular Arby's? Probably better. Does food taste good if it's Arby's? No. How many Sega Saturns does Alex own? 2? Can you guess? Hey, SNES Mapper, what's up? Can you guess how many hours combined Alex put in EDF games? 400. What are the lessons that we can latch onto from Top Gun Maverick? I didn't see it. Don't fly? Any lessons learned from watching the Netflix RE show, Resident Evil? No? I don't know. Don't listen to people on the internet. When should Nintendo release the successor of the Switch? Never. Text me after I answer the EDF question, and I'll give you the approximate hours. Okay. What games, hey Miguel, have you been playing this month? What have I been playing this month? I don't want to tell you because it's all reviews that are coming out. Do I want to tell you? Do I want to tell you the games I've been reviewing? I don't know. You let me know in the chat. Is that something you want to see, or in the comments? Do you want me to tell you the games I'm reviewing ahead of time? Nice. Alex said probably around 350 to 400. Yeah, there we go. If somebody wants to play retro games but not buy the original console and games, would I recommend they buy a console from Amazon, the ones with games in them, or you can add games, or emulation on PC? Somebody wants to play retro games on consoles, but they want to buy it on PC. God, I'm going Smash Mouth. You get too much Shrek jokes in here. A retro game. You know, I did find out you can actually play games for the GBA on the internet, and I've been doing it with the Xbox controller, and it actually works pretty good. I'd say just play on the PC. Did I ever have a video game poster on my wall when I was a kid? I had it as an adult. I just don't remember which ones. Oh, I had that like Sega Genesis poster with like, some of them came in like Genesis packaging. I don't know. Yeah, so one of those. Does you steal drugs? No, I don't even use drugs. I had Zelda Twilight Princess poster when I was 9. At 10, I had a bunch of Shadow the Hedgehog posters. One of them was huge. Sick. Does Sonic steal drugs? Which game? Maybe in the new Sonic game, in Frontier. What do I prefer more, Sonic Adventure 1 or 2? I never played Adventure 2. My gut tells me 1. Hypothetically, I were to get Game Pass game. What games would you, what games would you recommend to me? Sea of Thieves is super fun to play online. I want to play TMNT multiplayer. And because Game Pass comes with the gold, if you get Ultimate, like that's really the only way to get it. They take games down quite frequently. I mean, Rare Replay is classic, but you should just buy it when it's on sale. Or not. I do see it go on sale quite a bit, though. And yeah, that's how I feel. Wow, you guys drained me. This was a good Q&A though, and I kept my glasses on for most of it. So leave me a question, questions for the next episode. We'll start here, and we'll address them for the month of September. Good job, everybody. Ooh, I can see again.